My dear child, listen closely to my voice. This is a warning, a profound and urgent warning, intended only for the chosen ones. If you are hearing these words, if my voice is finding you at this exact moment, you must understand with every fiber of your being that this is not by chance. It is not an accident of the algorithm. It is not a random click. It is a thread of destiny, a pull from your own spirit, because something deep inside of you already knows what is happening. Something ancient within you is aware, even if your conscious mind is filled with doubt. Listen to me now. On this coming November 5th, as the superlunar, the supermoon in Taurus, reaches its absolute zenith, its peak of power, a fracture, an invisible crack in the very fabric of what you call reality, is going to tear wide open. And this event, this energetic wave, will cascade through the next 48 to 72 hours, covering November 6th and November 7th. And you, sensitive soul, you who have always felt things more deeply, you the marked soul, you will be among the very first to feel it. It will not manifest as a physical pain, no. It will be a strangeness, a profound sense of disorientation so deep that it will make you question if you are truly awake, or if perhaps you have been dreaming your entire life. For these sacred 72 hours, the laws of your known world, the rules you thought were solid, will be suspended. That which you believed to be solid, the table, the walls, your own hand, it will begin to feel transparent, illusory. And that which you believed was invisible, the energies, the presences, the very power of your thoughts, it will materialize right before your eyes. This is not some distant mystical experience reserved for monks meditating on remote mountains. This is happening to you. It will find you in your home. It will happen within your own body. It will echo inside your unprepared mind. I need you to anchor yourself in your power before this wave hits. So go to the comments right now and declare to the universe, I am ready to receive my divine transformation. This is so important, because if you do not understand what is occurring, if you misinterpret these powerful signals as madness or a symptom of illness, you risk losing the single most important, most pivotal event of your current incarnation. You must understand, this superlunar in Taurus is not like the gentle full moons you've experienced before. This is a rare, powerful convergence of sacred geometry, a precise planetary alignment, and a shift in the Earth's core frequency. A cosmic event that only occurs when the souls who are ready, souls like yours, are prepared to be shaken from their false foundations. There are 7 phenomena, 7 strange anomalies of perception that will begin to manifest in your direct experience. Starting on November 5th, some of them, I must warn you, will make you feel as if you are losing your grip on sanity. Others will make you question if you ever truly knew what reality is, or if you have been living in a dream. But you must listen to me. Every single one of these phenomena is a test. It is an initiation. It is a powerful call from your true, higher self, a voice that is screaming from the depths of dimensions that your logical, conditioned mind has kept locked away for your entire life. If you ignore these signs, my child, if you surrender to the fear that will inevitably arise, if you seek refuge in the cold, empty explanations of science or in the constant noise of digital distractions, this portal, this precious 48-hour window of opportunity will close for you. You will remain trapped in the density, stuck in the repetition of the third dimension, while other souls ascend to states of consciousness that you, in that fearful state, cannot even begin to imagine. But if you pay attention, if you surrender to the strangeness, if you allow these bizarre experiences to transform you instead of terrorize you, you will emerge on the other side of this on November 7th as a completely different being. You will possess capacities that you currently believe are only fiction. You will have perceptions that you thought were impossible for a human to have. And you will be filled with a purpose so clear, so luminous, that every single step of your previous life, all the pain and all the confusion, will suddenly make sense, like a long, difficult rehearsal for this very moment. So I tell you, pay absolute attention. Your entire reality is about to collapse. And from those ruins, from that collapse, something beautiful that you have been waiting for countless weary incarnations, will finally be born. The very first anomaly that you will experience under this superlunar in Taurus is something that I call the silent electricity. No, it will not be a sound you hear with your ears, not a buzzing or a humming. It will not be a movement you can see with your eyes. It will be a feeling, a sensation running just beneath the surface of your skin, as if every single cell in your body has begun to vibrate at a frequency you have never, ever perceived before. You will likely awaken in the middle of the night, perhaps on the 5th or 6th, and you will feel the air in your room. It will feel charged, electric. The very atmosphere of your bedroom will feel like an invisible ocean of energy. Thick, dense, and almost palpable, like you could reach out and touch it. Your hands might begin to tremble for no discernible reason. Your heart might race in your chest, even though no doctor could find a medical cause. Your mind will be sharp, hyper-alert, completely unable to shut down and sleep. Please listen to me, this is not anxiety. It is not a panic attack. This is your nervous system being recalibrated. It is being upgraded in real time to perceive frequencies that are normally far outside your limited sensory range. This superlunar is acting as a giant cosmic amplifier. It is elevating the Schumann resonance, the very heartbeat of the Earth, and with it, your body's innate dormant ability to detect subtle electromagnetic fields. What scientists dismiss as the simple background noise of the universe will suddenly become deafening to your energetic system. You will feel, perhaps for the first time, the actual rotation of the planet beneath your feet. You will feel the gravitational pull of that moon as if it were a giant invisible hand pulling on the fluids within your own body. You may even feel the presence of beings and entities that occupy the very same space that you do, but exist on different, parallel bands of frequency. This is the first test, and it is where many chosen souls will make a fatal error. They will run for medication. They will interpret this activation as a problem that must be silenced with a pill. If you do this, my child, if you chemically repress what is trying to emerge, you will not only lose the opportunity of this lifetime, you will create an energetic blockage so severe, so dense, that your next wave of awakening, your next chance, could be delayed for years, perhaps even decades. Instead of resisting this feeling, you must do the exact opposite. You must surrender to it completely. You must close your eyes, place both of your hands over your heart, and breathe directly into that vibrating, electric sensation. You must speak to your body, even out loud, and say, "I am ready. I am receiving this. I am transforming." You must visualize this energy. Do not see it as an invader. See it as pure information. See it as light codes, downloading directly into your DNA, rewriting obsolete programs of lack and fear, and activating the latent junk strands of your DNA that have been dormant since the day you were born. This silent electricity is your first sign. It is the universe knocking loudly on your door. You can either open it and welcome it in, or you can pretend you are not home and remain locked inside. The choice, as it always is yours. The second anomaly, which will follow closely, is the one I call the cascading synchronicity. Now, on a normal day, you might notice one or two strange coincidences. You glance at the clock and see 11:11. You think of an old friend you have not spoken to in years, and your phone rings with their name. You are struggling with a question, and you see the answer written on the side of a passing bus, or in the title of a book someone is reading in front of you. These are small whispers. But under the influence of this supermoon, during this 48-hour window, the synchronicities will not come as whispers. They will not arrive one by one. They will come in waves, in endless, breathtaking cascades, one after another, so fast and so breathtakingly specific that your rational mind will be completely unable to explain them away. They will not be subtle. They will be almost grotesque in their obviousness. You will look at the clock at 3:33. You will then receive a text message with exactly 333 characters. You will walk outside, and the first license plate you see will end in 333. You will go into a shop, and your total purchase will be 3330. You will open a book at random, and your eyes will fall on page 33. Paragraph 3. I promise you this is not paranoia. This is not your brain simply looking for patterns where none exist, as the skeptics would say. This is the universe, my child, screaming at you in the only language that cannot be misinterpreted. It is the language of symbols, the language of repetition, the language of statistical impossibility. What is happening is that this superlunar in Taurus is collapsing the separation between your inner world of thought and your outer world of experience. Your consciousness and the matrix of reality are beginning to fuse, to merge. Your thoughts are becoming instantly magnetic. Your unspoken questions are being answered in real time by reality itself, which is reorganizing itself particle by particle to show you exactly what you need to see. The ancients, my ancestors, they called this reading the omens. We modern people call it synchronicity. The name does not matter in the slightest. What matters, what is critical, is that you recognize that every single one of these coincidences is a cosmic breadcrumb. It is a marker on your path. It is a confirmation from the divine that you are in the correct flow, that you are moving in the right direction. And here is the part that most people miss, the part I need you to hear. You must not simply observe these synchronicities with passive amusement. You must interact with them. Every single time one happens, stop, just for a second. Take a deep breath. Say aloud or clearly in your mind, I have received the message. Thank you. This simple conscious act of acknowledgement closes the feedback loop. It sends a signal back to the quantum field, telling it that you are paying attention, that you are receptive, and that you are ready for more guidance. And the universe will respond. It will send you even clearer, more direct, more impossible to ignore signals. But if you dismiss these moments, if you shrug them off as meaningless coincidence, the universe will stop speaking to you. Or more precisely, it will keep speaking, but your ability to hear it, to perceive the messages, will atrophy and fade. This is your personal symphony. It is your own cosmic orchestra, playing a melody composed specifically and only for you, to guide you toward your highest destiny. Do not insult the divine composer by ignoring the music. Now the third anomaly. This one is perhaps the most socially unsettling, especially for those who do not understand its sacred purpose. I call it the hunger for emptiness. During these days, this intense period around November 5th, 6th, and 7th, you will feel an almost violent, primal urge to be alone. This will not be the normal, gentle desire for solitude that you feel after a long, busy day at work. No, this will be a primitive, visceral, non-negotiable impulse from the very core of your being. You will look at your friends, your colleagues, your family, even the people you love profoundly, your partner, your children, and you will feel suddenly that their very presence is unbearable. Their voices, which you normally cherish, will grate on your nerves like sandpaper. Their energies, their simple presence in the room, will feel like invasive static, interfering with a very subtle, very important frequency that you desperately need to tune into. Please hear me. You are not becoming antisocial. You are not falling into depression. You have not suddenly stopped loving these people. What is happening is that your personal energy field is undergoing a recalibration so deep, so profound, that any external energy, no matter how loving or well-intentioned, acts as a contaminant to the process. Imagine you are trying to hear a crucial message being whispered to you from another dimension, and someone next to you is shouting trivialities about their day directly into your ear. That is precisely what normal social interactions will feel like during this period. Noise, distraction, obstacles, standing between you and something infinitely more important, that is, trying to emerge from deep within you. The superlunar in Taurus is calling you, commanding you to retreat to create a cocoon for yourself. It is asking you to enter a kind of temporary death of your social self, so that your spiritual self can reorganize, heal, and upgrade without interference. In the ancient traditions, this was known as the dark retreat, or the sacred night of the soul. It is not a punishment, my child. It is a sacred process. And if you resist it, if you force yourself to go to that party, to attend that meeting, to make that phone call out of a sense of obligation or guilt, you will damage the process. You will contaminate your own delicate transformation with the opinions, the expectations, the judgments, and the dense energies of others who are not going through what you are going through. So what must you do? You must cancel your plans. Be honest but firm. Simply say, I need to be alone for a few days. I'm not unwell, I just need solitude. You do not need to give elaborate explanations. Those who are meant to be in your life, those who truly understand, will understand. Those who do not, those who get offended or worried, they never will, and their incomprehension is not your responsibility to manage. Turn off your phone, or at least your notifications. Disconnect from the endless noisy scroll of social media. You must create a physical and energetic sanctuary, a space where nothing and no one from the outside world can reach you. And in that blessed silence, in that sacred emptiness, something ancient and long forgotten within you will finally begin to awaken. A voice, your own inner voice, that has been buried under years, lifetimes of social conditioning and noise. A deep knowing will arise, a knowing that has been patiently waiting for the moment when you were finally quiet enough to hear its truth. This retreat is not an escape, it is an immersion. You are not running from the world. You are descending into the very center of your own inner universe, where the deepest truths of your existence are etched, waiting for you, written in the language of pure, undiluted intuition. The fourth anomaly. This one will challenge your entire concept of who you are, your identity, and your personal memory. I call this anomaly the bleeding of lives. Under the potent influence of this supermoon, the veil that separates your current life from your other existences, will become so thin, so porous, that you will begin to experience something that your rational mind believes should not be possible. You will begin to experience memories that are not yours, or to be more precise, memories that are yours, but that do not belong to this current timeline, this current body. You might be walking down a street you have lived on for years, a completely familiar place, and suddenly you will be flooded with the overwhelming, certain sensation that you have walked this exact path before. But not in this life. You will look at the modern buildings, the cars, the people, but for a split second, your mind will superimpose a different image. Images of ancient stone structures, of open, windswept fields, of landscapes that cannot exist in that physical place. This is not the common fleeting feeling of déjà vu. This is something more profound. These are multidimensional memory leaks. Your soul, my child, your soul is infinitely older than your current physical body. It carries within it the impressions, the scars, the wisdom of every single incarnation it has ever lived. Normally, and for good reason, these countless memories are sealed away. They are filed in the deep archives of your subconscious mind to prevent overwhelming confusion and psychological overload in your daily life. But this superluna in Taurus, its energy is a key. It breaks those seals. The energy is so potent, so high frequency, that the very structure of linear time, past, present, and future, becomes fluid and malleable. They begin to bleed into one another. And you're caught in the middle, and you will begin to experience flashbacks that have zero context in your current known life. You might be standing and looking at the ocean, and suddenly be flooded with an inexplicable, profound sadness, a grief that shakes you to your core. And with that sadness will come a blurred, fleeting image of you drowning, you, but not this you. Another you in another century, in another body, gasping for air in a cold sea. You might feel a sudden, irrational terror upon entering a simple post office or a government building, And with that terror will come the psychic echo of a memory of imprisonment, of torture, perhaps of death by betrayal in a similar building long ago. You might meet a total stranger, look into their eyes, and feel an instant shocking wave of intimate recognition. A feeling that you have known them forever, that you have shared lives, loves, and bitter deaths together, even as your conscious mind is insisting, screaming, that you have never ever seen this person before. This phenomenon, I know, will terrify those who are unprepared. It will send them running to psychologists, to medication, to diagnoses of disassociation and psychosis. But you, chosen one, you must understand what is really happening. Your soul is opening its sacred files for you. It is showing you, proving to you, that you are not just this name, this job, this body, this one small life. You are an eternal, magnificent entity that has walked through countless forms, accumulating wisdom, lessons, trauma, and immense power. And now, at this critical turning point in your evolution, you need access to that information. So do not try to suppress these memories. Do not push them down. Do not dismiss them as bizarre fantasies or stress. Instead, I want you to honor them. Get a notebook. Write them down. Write down every detail, every feeling, every image. No matter how fragmented or strange it seems, write it down. I promise you these memories are not random. They are emerging now because they contain the keys to your current mission. Perhaps you are finally seeing a destructive pattern that you have been repeating for lifetimes. A pattern you now have the power to break. Perhaps you are being reminded of a profound talent, a skill you mastered in another life. A skill as a healer, an artist, a leader that you need to reactivate now. Perhaps you are simply being warned of a danger or a person that you have already faced and been defeated by before. Whatever it is, these memory bleeds are not curses. They are gifts. They are your own magnificent soul acting as your wisest teacher, revealing the lessons of your vast past to illuminate the path of your immediate present. Then comes the fifth anomaly. This one will dissolve your certainty, your trust in what you call physical reality. I call this the liquefaction of the solid. Under this superlunar, during these 48 hours, you will begin to perceive the material world in a way that completely contradicts everything you were ever taught in school, everything conventional science adamantly claims, and everything your 5 physical senses have confirmed to you for your entire life. Solid objects will begin to seem less solid. The walls of your room, the furniture, even your own body, they might suddenly feel translucent. It will not be a visible hallucination, not in a way that others around you could see. It will be your internal perception that has shifted. It will be as if you can suddenly feel the immense empty space between the atoms, as if you can perceive with a new sense that everything that seems like dense, hard matter is in truth 99.999% empty space, just energy vibrating at different speeds. Colors will become abnormally, supernaturally intense. The sky will not just be blue. It will be a blue so vibrant, so alive, that it almost hurts to look at it. The plants in your home or in the park will not just be green. You will see that every single leaf seems to be pulsing with its own internal light, its own life force. And in certain moments, those in-between moments, especially at dawn or at dusk during these days, you might begin to see things that you know shouldn't be there. Shadows that seem to move with intention, with no light source to cast them. Tiny, brilliant flashes of light in your peripheral vision. You might even perceive faint geometric shapes, patterns floating in the air, visible only for a split second when you are not looking directly at them. Now the materialistic scientist, the skeptic, will tell you that this is a malfunction of your brain. They will call them hallucinations or signs of a neurological problem. But my child, the truth that our modern world refuses to accept, is that your brain is not malfunctioning. It is finally functioning correctly, perhaps for the first time in your life. It is simply stopping its incessant filtering. You see, your brain was never designed to show you reality as it truly is. It was designed by evolution as a survival tool to show you a tiny, simplified, filtered, digestible version of reality, just enough to allow you to function, to find food, to avoid danger, without being completely overwhelmed by information. 99% or more of the raw sensory information that floods your brain every single second is deliberately discarded. It never ever reaches your consciousness. But under the intense light of this superlunar in Taurus, those filters, those walls, they begin to crack and break down. And suddenly, for the first time, you are seeing quantum reality. You are seeing the underlying energetic matrix, the beautiful, complex web of energy that creates the illusion of solidity. You are perceiving the morphogenic fields, the ley lines of the earth, the subtle currents of energy that the mystics, the shamans, and the wise ones of my lineage have described for millennia. And this is not your imagination. Your own quantum physics now confirms that solid matter does not exist in the way we think it does. Everything is energy. Everything is condensed light, information vibrating at different frequencies. Your altered perception is not showing you something false. It is showing you something that is more true than the illusion you are used to. When this begins to happen, do not panic. Do not run to a doctor demanding a brain scan, convinced you are unwell. Instead, you must do the opposite. You must sit with the experience. Observe it without judgment, with a sense of wonder. You must allow your mind to expand, to stretch wide enough to accept the profound truth that reality is far, far stranger, more fluid, more conscious, and more magical than you were ever allowed to believe. This expanded perception is your birthright. It is how you, as a divine being, were always meant to see the world. The superlunar is simply removing the chains, the filters, from your perception and allowing you finally to see through the veil. Now, the sixth anomaly. This may bring the most terrifying and disorienting experience of all for the unprepared. I call it the emptying of identity. Imagine this, my child. You will wake up one morning, perhaps on November 7th, after the peak of the moon's energy has passed, and something that was fundamental to your sense of you, to your personality, will simply be gone. I do not mean physically. I mean emotionally, energetically. It will have vanished. It could be a core belief that you have held and defended for decades. It could be a deep, consuming attachment to a person, to a place, or to a specific goal you have been chasing your whole life. Most likely it will be a story that you have always told yourself about who you are. I'm a shy person. I am an ambitious person. I'm a victim of my past. I'm not good enough. And suddenly, overnight, without warning, without any gradual process of healing or therapy, that story will feel completely, utterly empty, meaningless. It will feel as if it was always a lie, a costume you put on just to survive, just to navigate the world. But now, that lie, that costume, no longer works. It has no more power over you. Again, this is not a gentle, gradual process of personal growth, where you slowly release old patterns over time. This is sudden. It is abrupt. Some might even feel it as violent. It is as if the universe itself has reached directly into your consciousness and ripped something out by the very roots. And in the place where that identity, that belief, that lifelong attachment used to be, there will be a void, a gap, a terrifying, silent, blank space where there used to be certainty. Your logical mind will go into absolute panic. It will scramble desperately to fill that void with something, anything. A new story, a new identity, a new person to cling to, a new drama. But listen to me. If you give in to that panic, if you try to fill that sacred void prematurely, you will miss the entire, profound purpose of this divine process. The void is not the problem, my child. You must understand this. The void is the entire point. This superlunar in Taurus is teaching you something that all the great spiritual masters have tried to communicate for thousands of years. Something that most of humanity never truly deeply understands. Enlightenment, awakening, is not about gaining something new. It is about losing everything that is false. It is the systematic, divine dismantling of every illusion, every false identity, every conditioned story that keeps you small, limited, and afraid. And when all of those illusions have been stripped away, when you have been completely emptied of who you thought you were, then and only then can the real, the true, your authentic divine nature, which was never any of those stories, finally have the space to enter and be born. So during this period of emptying, which may last for days or weeks after the moon, your job is not to resist. Your job is not to fill the space. Your job is not to run around looking for quick answers or new labels. Your job is to sit in the void, to breathe into the void, to become a friend to the void. This blank space is sacred. It is fertile ground. It is the clean, pure canvas upon which your true self can finally paint its masterpiece, free at last from the restrictions of social programming, ancestral trauma, and cultural expectations. If you can just tolerate the profound discomfort of not knowing, of not being, you will emerge on the other side as something completely new, not just an improved version of your old self, not healed, reborn. And this leads to the seventh and final anomaly. This is the most powerful, the most interactive, and often the most misunderstood of all. I call it the activation of soul contracts. Under this Taurus superlunar, during this sacred 48-hour window and in the days that follow, you will feel an inexplicable, powerful, magnetic pull towards certain people. And I must tell you, these will not necessarily be people you know. They could be complete strangers. But when you are near them, or sometimes even when you simply think of them or see their name, you will feel an intensity in your body that you cannot rationalize. It will feel as if your very soul recognizes them on a level that bypasses your mind completely, even if your mind has no context for them. Your hands might tremble when they are near. Your heart might race or skip a beat. You might feel an overwhelming wave of emotion, sudden love, profound sadness, or even intense fear or anger, for no apparent reason that is based on your interactions with this person in this life. This is happening because the soul contracts, the sacred agreements you made before you were even born are being activated by this lunar energy. Before you ever entered this physical body, your soul, in its wisdom, made agreements with other souls. You all made agreements to meet at specific, divinely timed moments, in specific circumstances, to teach each other specific, crucial lessons. Some of these contracts, the ones you long for, are contracts of deep love and profound support. But others, just as important, are contracts for challenge, for friction, and for growth. Some contracts are to create something beautiful together, and other contracts are to finally close something painful that was left unfinished in previous lives. And this superlunar, this energy of November 5th, is pulling on all those invisible energetic threads. It is bringing these specific souls into your orbit with a synchronicity that defies all logical explanation. You might suddenly receive a message from someone you have not seen or spoken to in 20 years. You might meet someone by chance in the most improbable, unlikely place. You might feel an irrational, urgent impulse to contact someone without having any logical reason why. Do not, I beg you, ignore these impulses. Do not dismiss them as mere nostalgia or coincidence or boredom. Every single one of these encounters, these reconnections, has a divine purpose. Every one of these people is carrying a piece of your puzzle. They hold a lesson you desperately need to learn, or they are the key to a wound you finally need to heal, or they are a partner for a mission you are meant to create. But here is the critical warning, and I need you to listen to this very carefully. Not all soul contracts are of the light. Not all these meetings will feel good. Some contracts were established by your own soul, specifically to challenge you, to provoke you, to force you to confront your deepest, darkest shadows. These people will not come to you bearing halos and sweet words. They will come bearing triggers. They will make you angry. They will make you feel insecure. They will make you question everything about yourself. And that, my child, is exactly their sacred function. They are your greatest masters, disguised as your antagonists. And if you can respond to them with consciousness, rather than blind reactivity, If you can see the hidden gift, the lesson buried in the challenge, you will evolve more in those few days of interaction than most people evolve in decades. And then, of course, there is the reverse of this activation. I call it the mass detachment. Just as these new or old people are being magnetically pulled into your life, others will be just as powerfully repelled. Relationships that you thought were permanent, relationships you thought would last forever, will simply dissolve. They will fall away. And not necessarily because of a big fight, not because anyone did anything wrong. They will dissolve simply because the contract is complete. The lesson was learned. The frequency no longer matches. And when this happens, you must let them go. You must let go without clinging, without demanding closure, without guilt and without bitterness. You must thank them in your heart for the time shared and the lessons learned, and allow each soul to continue on its own separate path. During this time, under this superlunar, you will also feel an overwhelming, purging need to simplify. You will feel a need to eliminate not just relationships, but possessions, habits, and commitments that no longer fit. Everything in your life that does not resonate with your new, higher, elevated frequency will suddenly feel insufferably heavy, like chains around your ankles. You will start looking at your possessions, things you once valued, and feel no attachment. You will begin to get rid of them. You will cancel subscriptions. You may even quit projects or jobs suddenly and decisively. This is not impulsivity. This is not recklessness. This is your soul, finally speaking clearly and demanding more space, more clarity, and more alignment. Do not resist this purge. Every single thing you let go of creates the sacred empty space for something far more aligned with your true self to enter. So now that you have been warned, now that I have told you of the 7 anomalies, you need to understand something of critical importance. These experiences, these 7 initiations, they are not optional. You are not choosing whether or not to participate in this. By hearing this, by being who you are already chosen. You are already standing inside the powerful transformative field of influence of this superlunar. The only choice you have left is how you will respond. Will you resist, clench your fists and suffer? Or will you open your hands, surrender, and be transformed? Will you interpret these divine experiences as symptoms of sickness and madness? Or will you recognize them as the sacred signs of your awakening? Will you repress them with distractions, with noise, with medication? Or will you embrace them with courage, with curiosity, and with faith? And here is the secret, the promise that no one else will tell you. If you experience these 7 anomalies fully, if you do not run, if you do not hide, if you stay conscious and present and breathe through every single one, you will emerge on the other side of this 48-hour portal after November 7th with capacities that you currently consider impossible, pure fantasy. Your intuition, that little voice inside, will become so sharp, so clear, that you will simply know things. You will know things about people, about situations, about the future, without anyone telling you a single word. Your ability to manifest, to create your reality, will accelerate dramatically. The things you desire, the abundance, the love, the peace, what used to take you months or even years of hard work to materialize, will begin to appear in your life in days or even weeks. Your perception of energy will become so refined that you will be able to feel the vibrational quality of places, of objects, of food, of people, simply by being near them. You will know instantly and without doubt what is safe for you and what is toxic, what is aligned with your soul, and what is merely a distraction. But most important of all, you will awaken to your true purpose, not the purpose your family wanted for you, not the purpose that society programmed you to chase for money or status. No, you will awaken to your soul's purpose. The specific, unique, and irreplaceable mission that your soul chose to incarnate for, in this body, at this precise, critical moment in human history. And with that knowing, with that certainty, will come a clarity so absolute, a focus so intense that all the noise, all the confusion, all the self-doubt that has plagued you and held you back for your entire life, it will simply evaporate like mist in the morning sun. You will know, and with that knowing comes a power, an internal, unshakable power that no external force, no person, no government, no circumstance can ever take from you again. But there is one final step, one final act that you must take. A conscious act to solidify your participation, your willing participation in this cosmic event. On the night of November 5th, when the superlunar is at its absolute peak, shining its brightest, you need to perform a simple but profound ritual. Find a place, even if it is just your bathroom, where you can be alone and completely undisturbed for a few minutes. Turn off all the artificial lights. If it is possible, stand or sit where you can see the moon directly, even if just through a window. If you cannot, that is all right. Simply know that it is there above you, shining down on you, radiating its power through stone and steel to reach you. Sit in the silence. Close your eyes. Place both of your hands over your heart, and then either speak aloud or declare in the sacred silence of your own mind the following words. I am ready. I'm open. I receive the full truth of who I am. I release all illusion. I release all fear. I accept my transformation. I accept my mission. I accept my power. You must repeat this declaration 7 times. With each repetition, feel your body opening more. Feel your resistance dissolving, melting away. Feel something ancient, magnificent, and enormous beginning to stir and move deep within you, waking up after a sleep that has lasted for millennia. After the 7th repetition, just sit and breathe and observe what arises. It might be a flood of emotions. It might be a rush of images or memories. It might simply be physical sensations in your body. Do not judge any of it. Do not try to analyze it. Just witness. Just be the loving witness to your own becoming. This simple private act is your signature on the cosmic contract. It is your conscious consent to be transformed. You see, without this conscious consent, these powerful energies can brush past you, they can rattle you, but they cannot penetrate you completely. But with this consent, you transform from a passive victim of the energy into an active, willing conductor of the ascension frequency. Chosen one, listen to me. Your life, as you have known it, is ending. Do not fear this word. This is not a death. It is a birth. All the pain you have endured, all the confusion you have navigated, all the lonely, unanswered questions that have haunted you in the dark. They were all leading you, step by step, to this very moment. The superlunar of November 5th is not the end of your search. It is the beginning of your mission. It is the day you stop being a wounded seeker and you become a powerful carrier. A carrier of light, a carrier of truth, a carrier of a higher frequency in a world that is desperately, desperately crying out for what you are about to become. The 7 anomalies are not punishments. They are initiations. They are not errors in your perception. They are expansions of your capacity. They are not signs of madness. They are the markers of your emerging mastery. And every single one that you move through consciously, with courage, will elevate you to a level of existence that most of humanity does not even know exists. You are not losing your mind. You are finally reclaiming your divinity. You are not breaking apart. You are breaking open. You are not falling. My child, you are ascending. And when this is over, when you emerge from the other side of this 48-hour portal, you will look back at the person you were before November 5th, and you will barely recognize them. Because you will not be that person any longer. You will be what you were always destined to be, awake, activated, and unstoppable. The countdown has already begun. The portal is opening as I speak these words. Your soul, the real you, is trembling with anticipation because it knows, it remembers what this moment means. Do not miss this. Do not run from it. Do not hide in your old distractions. Stand in the very center of this spiritual storm. Plant your feet, open your arms, and allow it to remake you from the inside out. This is your moment. This is your life. This is your awakening. And now, If you feel the truth of these words resonating in your bones, in your heart, if you can feel something deep inside you, activating, stirring, just from hearing this message, I need you to do one last thing. Go to the comments right now and declare to the universe, to your guides, and to yourself, I am ready for my transformation. This simple public declaration is an act of magic in itself. It is a powerful signal to your guides, to your higher self, and to all the cosmic forces that are gathering around you, that you are not just passively listening, you are committed. It is your promise that you are not going to waste this divine gift. It is your vow that you are going to walk through this fire, and you will emerge as pure, unbreakable gold. Your awakening, my child, does not begin tomorrow with the moon. It began in the exact moment that this message found you. And what comes now, this intensity, this strangeness, this is just the beautiful, necessary unfolding of what was already decided on levels of reality that your conscious mind can barely even comprehend. Trust this process. Surrender your need for control. Allow the transformation no matter how it looks or feels. The universe has you. It has always had you. And it will never, ever let you fall. I will see you on the other side, chosen one, where everything is possible and nothing will ever be the same again.